Jimi Ogbobine, a research and corporate strategist from BGL, with me in the studio today, examining the reasons Nollywood is such a great phenomenon here in Nigeria, but it's not doing so well. Now, Jimmy, you recently released a report titled The Nigerian Media and Entertainment Industry, More Than Fun, There is Good Money to be Made. Now, there's good money to be made, but not much money is being made. In fact, Dark Communications, one of the major media listings on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, is performing quite poorly. Why is this?
That is performing quite poorly as a result of two things. One, there's a contagion in the Nigerian market right now. There's so many stocks trading at par value of 50 kobo, not just that. Then outside that, then that has got its own independent issues, corporate governance issues, disclosure level issues, and all that. So that's actually what's happening with that. But that doesn't really affect, you know, the whole money-making issue around the entertainment industry. You've got issues around quality, you've got issues around piracy, you've got issues around distributorship. Then very importantly, you've got issues around capital investments. The Nigerian entertainment industry has been doing so well, even without any form of venture capital contribution, even without any form of government income. So for all the problems, all the obstacles they've had to overcome, for all they've achieved despite these obstacles, then you can say they're actually doing fairly well economically.
Now, Godfrey did mention Nollywood, which is a huge moneymaker here in Nigeria. In fact, it's the country's biggest employer after agriculture. But the truth is, piracy and other issues are cutting we're not making as much money as we should be making. Can you give us reasons? What did you find in your report? Why isn't Nigeria? Why aren't we reaching that potential?
We aren't reaching the potential. Don't forget, when Nollywood started in the 90s, I mean, the report says Hubert Ogunde has always been there. We've had collaborations with Hollywood in the past. But Nollywood started as an accident of fate when we had Living in Bondage. So as at that time, all these structures weren't in place. We didn't have a proper distribution network. There weren't cinemas. So Nollywood actually started as an accident of fate. But having started that way, we continued in the same pattern we started. The marketers who just bring in money, sponsor a movie, cost between $15,000 to $100,000, and they just want to. So we've continued with this model for too long, and now it's time to look at a new model. Jennifer has been in the cinemas now for over 5 months, and each show in the cinema has had a full hall. So now we're seeing that there's potential in quality. There's deeper potential in quality, not just for Nigeria, but across the continent and in the diaspora as well.
Now, like I said, piracy is a major issue. By the way, Jennifer is one of the most popular comedy movie series here in Nigeria. Piracy is a major issue. How much money do you think Nigeria loses to piracy alone?
It will be hard to place a figure on it because in the first place it's piracy, so it's an underground economy. So it's hard to place a figure on it. But you have a situation whereby someone just produces his movies, and before he releases it, it's already out with the pirates. So it just tells you that its loss ab initio. It's out there before he has even released his own work. So then you find out that some have already gone to the pirates and are now working with the pirates. It will be more than 3 billion if you have to come out a rough estimate, but I'm sure it will actually be much more, because someone who produces a movie, for instance, he goes to the pirate and says, okay, look, this is my movie. Could you take it off me? And he probably collects, say, 10 million. If it's probably gone through the box office, you're probably making 100 million. So beyond the cost, you should also be looking at the opportunity cost. How much are we losing by actually working with the pirates, or by actually allowing the pirates to control the distribution network?
Now, let me ask you, in November 2010, President Goodluck came out and announced that he would be investing about $200 million in the development of Nigeria's entertainment industry. Nollywood itself did not seem to be so convinced. One year down the line, what have we seen the government do to push our entertainment and media industry forward?
Now, with the $200 million, fine, it was made in the heat of the campaign, in the heat of the presidential campaign. But now, with the hullabaloo of the campaigns being settled, we have to appreciate one thing. The money has got to go through a proper credit procedure, which the celebrity lifestyle of a typical Nollywood person may not be able to go through. So there's need to probably bring in professional management to help see through this process. Then outside that, you've also got to look at, should a disbursement of a loan actually be the proper way of funding Nollywood? Half of a Yellow Sun, for instance, is going to be produced in movie in the UK. It's going to be sponsored by the British Film Institute through British taxpayers' money. So these things actually do happen. It's not in Nollywood it will be happening for the first time, but my fear is we've actually not put it through the proper structure. I'm not sure the BOI, the back of industry, who are going to challenge this fund, I'm not sure they have so much expertise in helping Nollywood out with, you know, this kind of funding. I'm not sure. So I have fears around that.
What do you think the solution is then to solving some of the financing issues? Because Nollywood has a lot of financing issues. We don't see venture capitalists coming in. People don't seem to be interested in financing Nollywood. So what is the solution?
I think first and foremost, Nollywood has got to be run like a business, not like a recreational activity. People have got to recognize that this is a proper business. There's money to be made and there's money to be lost in it. So once we have that mindset, then I think we can start from there. You need to see more venture capitalists who come in not just with funds, but with also some level of professional expertise, some level of administrative competence as well. Then the regulator, my real fear is this. I hope BOI do not actually channel some of this money through the Nigerian Film and Video Censors Board, because you now have a regulator playing the situation of a practitioner as well. I actually don't need that scenario right now. So like I said, the mindset has got to change. This is a business, not a recreation. So from there, we can now take it up. But
what type of profit margins are there for businesses in Nollywood?
Now, the interesting thing is this. The higher the quality, the better the profit margins. I do not know how much Funke has made of Jennifer, but I can imagine she has made so much. I've seen the movie, and each time you see the movie, the hall is full to the brim. It's been in the cinemas across the country for 5 months. No Hollywood movie has done such. So part of the structure we expect to see, for instance, is the proper box office, where these records come out, where we see figures, where we see amounts. So it's kind of to engender competition amongst players, to tell people that, look, the voodoo message will sell, but it has passed its time. It's time we move on to the next stage of Nollywood. Want to see more political soaps, you know, want to see, Nigeria's got a lot of political drama. I want to see such in Nollywood. Want to see bigger budget movies, higher quality, better production, better distribution network, stay longer in the cinemas for things like that.
Now, Nollywood isn't the best, it's not the only good performing section of Nigeria's media and entertainment industry. We're seeing advertising is also a major part of Nigeria's media and entertainment industry. Also, web or online entertainment. Is Nigeria doing well in terms of using the online stage as a means of entertainment?
We're doing quite well when you look at the other IT issues around it. Nigeria's got very little bandwidth. The biggest bandwidth, there's only one major bandwidth supplier in Nigeria right now. So if you look at all the infrastructural bottlenecks around online platforms and you see how much we're doing well. But, you know, when you just sit down, you try to watch a video of YouTube in Nigeria, you see how long it takes to stream and to buffer, when in other countries with better bandwidth infrastructure, you just watch it normally. So because of the bottlenecks, our potentials cannot be fully achieved. Our potentials cannot be fully met. So there has to be a holistic approach to these things. Nollywood cannot work in isolation of the power issues, in isolation of the internet bandwidth issues. So if all these things are addressed, then Nollywood, I'm sure, can live up to its greater potential.
Well, thank you so much. That was Jimi Ogbobine for giving us, shedding some light on Nigeria's media and entertainment sector.